things to think about when it comes to your your packaging. One is you really need to work with a customized, reputable crating company. And oftentimes you can get referrals for those. It's really important that you work with the right company and get the right crate. And you can get those crates, they can be measured for durability and other such testing. In some cases, the other area you have to be concerned with is the markings. Are you shipping your crate overseas? If you are, you will require some international markings on the crate. Each country's markings can vary. So you certainly want to talk to your crating company about that. Maybe your instrument isn't that large and you could really just use a Pelican case. Those are usually pretty durable. Again, you can get all kinds of testing on them. So you really have a situation where you can look at the Pelican case versus a crate. And the last thing that's really important to note is that if you're sending accessories or something else with it, people sometimes think you can put those in a cardboard box, and you can just put the cardboard box on a pallet, you can strap the pallet and shrink wrap it, and it's going to be fine. But don't forget, it's important to note that usually shipments are stacked. Even if you mark it, don't stack, oftentimes it can get stacked anyways. So we recommend, being really careful about sending anything in a, in cardboard boxes.
Yeah, the international markings are really important. Each country typically has their own markings that they require, and that essentially tells them that the wood packing material has been either heat treated or fumigated, and that keeps foreign insects out of their country.
Yeah, and one other thing to talk about here is just the stacking. You see on this crate, this image, there's the "do not stack" printed on it, as well as the word "fragile." But again, there's certain ways to book shipments where they are not stackable. But if you don't do that and you book it in with the rest of the general cargo, no matter what markings you put, whether or not you put large orange cones at the top, no matter what you're going to do, it's often going to be stacked. And if you think about the handling that your device is going to go through, if you're going through an LTL carrier, it's going to be picked up on a truck, offloaded into one warehouse, put into another truck, offloaded to another warehouse, put onto another truck, and delivered. There's a lot of handling that devices go through. So you need to make sure that the packaging and crating can deal with that. And if you're an earlier stage biotech, an earlier stage medical device company, and you're engineering your device, you want to make sure that it's engineered in a way that it can withstand transit. So it's a really important thing to figure out early on, not only what's the crating going to look like to be able to protect this device, but let's make sure we manufacture it in a way that it can withstand the normal movement.
And dedicated vehicles, another important point that Josh just alluded to. One option would be that it gets driven via a dedicated vehicle. It's really easy and probably your best choice if it's within a small mile radius. And when I say small, it can really vary. It could be anywhere from 25 to, maybe even 100 miles or more. But dedicated vehicles are sometimes used. Of course, an air ride truck would be essential in that situation. And they can be strapped inside the dedicated vehicle. So that is another option. There are a lot of options out there. And I would also plan, the lead time to get a customized crate can be 1 to 2 months. So I would kind of think about that and get that planned out in your schedule.